Hello, welcome to this informational edition of Miss Reed Reads. Today we're going to read a nonfiction book and we are going to read about snails. I figured it would be good to read a nonfiction book about snails because we just read a book for escargot last week and we learned all about our fictional snail friend. So now let's learn about real snails. And let's read the story or the text. Let's look at snails. It's by Laura Hamilton Waxman. Snails have shells. Something is hiding in this shell. Can you guess what it is? Surprise! It's a snail. This snail moves slowly along a leaf. Snails have soft, slimy bodies. On their backs are hard shells. Many snails have round, spiral shells. Some snails have shells that are long and pointy. This sea snail has a spiky shell. Sea snails live in the salty ocean. Where else do snails live? And this caption says, some sea snails' shells are very colorful. Freshwater snails live in ponds, rivers, and streams. Freshwater is not salty. These snails live in freshwater. Land snails live in forests, trees, and gardens. Some live on mountains or in deserts. I have a connection to that because sometimes when I go get my Christmas tree in the forest, sometimes there are snails on the Christmas tree. Snails make slime. This land snail is leaving behind a slimy trail. The trail is made of mucus. A tiny sand snail creeps across a leaf. The mucus trail helps the snail move. It is like a slippery road. The snail slides over it easily. A snail moves along its flat bottom. This body part looks like a belly, but it is the foot of a snail. A snail has one flat foot that helps it move. At the front of the foot is the head. Most snails have 4 tentacles on their heads. Can you find the snail's 4 tentacles? See, I see 2 big ones, and then 2 smaller ones down here. Look closely at the ends of the 2 tentacles. Do you see 2 black dots? These are the snail's eyes. A snail can only see dark and light. It uses its 2 shorter tentacles to feel where it is going. These snails cannot see each other well. They will use their tentacles to find their way. A snail's mouth is near the front of its head. Most land snails eat plants, but some snails eat animals. This is the snail's mouth. Snails stay safe. Snails look for food in damp, dark places. They try to stay out of dry, sunny places. Do you know why? I have a guess, but I don't really know. Let's learn. A snail will die if its body gets too dry. It can go inside its shell to stay cool and moist. These sea snails stay safe inside their shells. Some land snails hibernate in the cold winter months. The snails go into a deep sleep. Mucus seals their shells shut. This garden snail is ready to hibernate. It's all in its shell. Are these snails hibernating? No, they are hiding from a predator. Predators are animals that hunt and eat other animals. Many predators like to eat snails. Look at this. Hedgehogs eat snails. Snails lay eggs. This snail is laying eggs in a hole in the ground. Snails hide their eggs from predators. Inside the egg are baby snails. What happens to the eggs? These snail eggs are hidden in a leaf. The eggs hatch. Out come tiny snails. This tiny snail just hatched. Baby snails are hungry. First, they eat their eggshells. Then, they look for tasty plants. A young snail eats and eats. It grows bigger and bigger. Its shell grows too. Oh, look at this. A young snail hitches a ride on its parent's back. This slimy snail is all grown up. Let's read some fun facts. Snails live all over the world. They come in all sizes. One of the largest snails can be found in East Africa. Some snails can live to be 20 years old. Snails that live on land tend to chew their food loudly. If you are near a large land snail, you may be able to hear it crunching and munching away. Snail racing is a popular pastime in some parts of Great Britain. Oh my, that's silly. And here's the diagram. The foot, the shell, tentacles, the eyes right on top of the tentacles, and the mouth is on the bottom surface of the foot. The end. I hope you learned some facts about snails.